It's fabulous to be here with all of you. I see, let's go here. This will make it easier. Yes, I got Chukwuemeka and John and Joe's here. Is Kelly around? Kelly around?
No, Kelly's at work.
Okay, we got Patricia, the fabulous Elizabeth, Eddie, great to see you. Galaxy S21 Ultra 5G. So if you want to change that name, you would go to the three little dots on the side and tell us who you are. I see Ann and
Karen.
Patrick. Hey, Patrick.
Karen,
Yes.
it's Deborah. Galaxy will be
Oh.
Deborah. That
All
means
right,
she's
let me
not
change it for you, Deborah, so we
She's
know.
out.
I'm going to rename it.
Yes, I'm going to rename it.
Great to have you, Deborah. Awesome.
Bye.
Rename. Hopefully I spelled it right. Scott, hey, great to see you. Mallory, here you are in full color. Beautiful. Jay and Scott and Kathy. Hey, Kathy. Alec and Maggie, Agusa, Janice, Christine, Nadea, Joseph, Charissa, hey, and Dawn. We got many other students here with us today. Let's see, Amber's here and Natasha.
Yeah.
Sorry?
She's here. I didn't see her name.
Yeah, Amber's here. I know her video is off, so I couldn't see her. Catherine's here. Was looking for some other. Oh, Liana hopped online. Good to see you, Liana. Janice and Sarah, Lawton, Zita. Sibu's here early in the morning. Fabulous. We got many, many students with us today, and it's wonderful. I've missed you all. It feels like it's been a long stretch, right? Because John had the Thursday, and then, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And here we are back on our Tuesday. Roxana just joined. Hey, Roxana. And so, this is a special week for us here in the low-hanging system. So on Thursday, it's Thanksgiving here in the US. And I know that John had talked to you about this yesterday. I listened back. And so we're going to not have calls Thursday and Friday. So John will be here with you tomorrow. We won't have live calls on Thursday and Friday, but we will be back on Monday. And you have so many recordings. So you can hop on the YouTube channel and listen to any of our recordings. Really great to just kind of stay with it and keep with the flow and the routine. If you are taking time to spend with family, then it's really a special time here in the US. I always, as we approach the holidays, because that's the big part of the fourth quarter, of course, right? It's that holiday feeling, all, family gathering together and doing family things, eating a lot of food, and sharing life together. For me personally, tomorrow is my husband's birthday. It always falls exactly, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, all the things right align with his birthday. So that's always fun. And we always take some time to go hiking. So we will be in Enchanted Rock tomorrow. So I'm really excited about that. But today for our topic, I wanted to, I know John will be here tomorrow and I can't kind of assume what he'll be talking about, but it is my last day with y'all before Thanksgiving. And I want us to talk about the topic of gratitude. And not only because it's Thanksgiving, but I was also kind of given a sign from the universe, a nudge on a conversation with one of our students yesterday. And she was going through a pretty rough time, and lots of things were happening in her personal life, and she had to make a lot of shifts, and just emotionally she wasn't feeling at her highest. And she had told me on this call that it took her a long time to be able to express gratitude for the things that she has in her life. So I thought that is just very interesting, because it just shows us how important it is to revisit even maybe the most basic of topics, if we could call it basic, because I think it's one of the most profound. It's what we ask you to do every morning. It's part of our daily mode of operation, is to rise with an attitude of gratitude and list the things that you're grateful for. And so, as we round the corner for this Thanksgiving, and we're not going to get into all the ideas of what Thanksgiving and how Thanksgiving, but if we think about what we're asked to do at this time, Thanksgiving, giving thanks. And so it is one day out of the year, but we, as the low-hanging system, we acknowledge that it's 365 days. Remember, the daily mode of operation doesn't stop when, there are no calls or there's no, it's every morning that you rise. I always say on my welcome call, every morning and every night, when I go to sleep at night, my routine is to list the things that I'm grateful for. And I'm getting to that. I'm just kind of giving us a little nice opening to set the scene for us. And so, oftentimes there will be many times in our lifetime that, really finding the authenticity of really aligning with that frequency of gratitude might be a little bit more challenging. There might be it doesn't even have to be days. It could be hours, moments in our life where we're just not really feeling tuned to that. But what this does, when you express gratitude, it actually tunes your instrument. It aligns you. So you don't really have to feel that in the moment, really, just wake up all chirpy and like, oh, the sun is shining, the birds are chirping, I'm grateful. It doesn't have to come from that place. It's often that same kind of myth, like meditation that we talked about before, that we all have to just be sitting cross-legged with our fingertips touching and closing our eyes and sitting there for an hour. That's not the only way to meditate. And so that's not the only way to express gratitude. And it even if you're not 100%, not even, because you might not be feeling 100% aligned with that frequency, with the frequency of gratitude, that's the reason to list the things that you're grateful for, because it will tune you. It will align you. And if it doesn't do it on the first time or the second time, trust the process. The more that you, continuously express gratitude for the things that you see in your life, and we're going to get to that in a minute, because I feel like it's really important to understand what we're listing. The more that you get into the habit of that, the more you will feel it. And maybe in the beginning, it's really like a shallow feeling, or maybe a distant one, like you're not really, it's not at the center of your heart where you're bursting with it. That's fine. You keep on progressing and listing more and more things, and it works like magic. If there is a magic in the world, there is magic in the world, let's just state that. And this is it. This is one of them. Being grateful, listing, just like literally like a grocery list where you're like, okay, I'll get tomatoes and cucumbers and some water and some things, just like that. You just shout out the things that you're grateful for. So let's take a few moments to understand. It doesn't have to be, I'm grateful for my husband, I'm grateful for my family, I'm grateful for my car and my home, right? Those are big things. And sometimes life happens to us and we're not exactly feeling aligned with those words. Those are big words. And each of us are dealing with different things in our life. And we can be thankful for the air, for the breath of clean and fresh air that we're breathing, the ability to expand and contract our lungs to breathe. It's that simple. It doesn't have to be the grand things. The job or the money, it doesn't have to be. It can be the smaller things. I'm grateful for my fingers and my toes, literally. I'm grateful for the hair that's on my head. I'm grateful for the sunshine outside. Sometimes when we're feeling in these places, it's better to even take it out of our physical body and list the things that we can see that never change. I'm pointing behind me because we have a view behind. I'll show you in a minute. And so you can see the trees and all the things to be grateful for. Those are always around you, and they're not connected to any emotion that might be overflowing in your body or in your mind at that moment. So you can be grateful for the sound of the birds chirping. And if you're not hearing that, the sun rising, the moon, the stars, the planet spinning that gives us, the seasons, or the sun rising and having our nighttime, because that's something that, imagine if it was a little bit different, if we were a little bit differently aligned, we wouldn't have any of that. So even just to be grateful for that, for the earth that we walk on, for the breeze in the trees, all right, then we can take it a little bit closer. We can be thankful for clean water. How many people around the world do not have access to clean water? A lot, I'll tell you, a lot, more than you would think. I could probably Google that statistic. I didn't ahead of time. Some people don't even have running water. There were times when I lived in different places in the world and there was not running water. And if there was running water, it was not hot water. And that was something that you dealt with. It was just, that's how it was. And you made do with what you have. And that was fine. So being thankful for the running water, being thankful for the plumbing, being thankful for the central heating now that it's winter. There's so many things that we can just list without having those emotional attachments like, oh, I'm going through this right now and I'm not feeling it. And, sometimes we have these places where, we don't even want to start the day. Okay. This is how deep the expression was yesterday on a conversation. And so being able to harness the things that are around you every day and expressing the gratitude for that, making it simple. The more simple we make it, the more we're going to be able to repeat it and make it a habit. So, if you start with your list, just 5 things, make it 5 things, make it 3 things if you have to. Okay. But I would go, 5 things I think is a great place to start, because you can go into 10 and into 20 pretty easy. And you really make a rule with yourself, just like you schedule these appointments every day before you step out of bed, you list them, you list the things that you're grateful for, and you begin to see, it shifts the way that you see your life. Instead of seeing lack, you see thanks. Instead of seeing what you don't have, you begin to see and acknowledge and really appreciate what you do have. And that is profound. That can lead to total transformation. And not only, hey, Jen, and not only are you transforming the way that you think and behave and move around your day. Yeah, right. Plenty in the US that don't have good drinking water and plenty of food. That's right. That's completely right. And I mean, air, how many cities are covered in that smog? And you're just, there are cities around the world where people wear masks on a daily basis, no matter what, because you can't breathe the air that's around you. Anyway, so coming back to where I was, that idea that you're not only shaping the way that you move about your day, but you're actually sending out this signal into the world, into the universe. And the beautiful thing about that, that's why I say it's magic. It is pure magic. More things to be grateful for will be coming your way. And that is what we teach as part of this course. It is part of what we represent here in the low-hanging system. It is real. And, when we're in those kinds of places where we cannot see or appreciate, to just know that what we're doing has an effect and has an impact, and you will be, drawing that line. I like to imagine it almost like lines of energy that we send out from our body, threads of different colors. In gratitude, you can give it a color, and you're sending that out. And then imagine how many more are going to be coming your way. Those beautiful energetic threads coming to you and giving you more things to be grateful for. Now, does that mean that, now we're not going to feel any of those emotions, and those emotions will completely disappear from our life, and, the negative ones or the ones that don't move us forward? No, it doesn't mean that. Definitely, then we will have encounters with, feelings that we're not enough, or that we don't have enough, and that, what's going on is not just, and that, we're going to experience that in our life. Just like we mentioned that in our business, it's definitely a roller coaster, and we're definitely going to have ups and downs. We have to say it. We have to be able to acknowledge that the emotions that are around us. Remember, we talked about waves, right? How life moves in waves last time. I even had that cactus picture when I came online to begin with. And so just understanding that our emotions move in waves as well. And we can be on this downward wave, but there is an upward trajectory from there. And when we have a grateful heart, it's like a magnet. It's like a magnet. We're trying to pull back to us these things that we're grateful for. And so if we can take the time to acknowledge all the good that is in our life already in front of us, the simplest things, a phone, we all have a phone, right? A computer, internet. Oh my goodness. Do you remember the times when internet was so slow that you literally had have like an hour to write an email. Do you remember those times? The dial up, right? The dial up, and he would sit there and he'd disconnect and he'd try to get it to work. Internet, just being grateful for that, the ability to be connected worldwide and make a business out of it, create your livelihood, have that under your, as a possibility for your personal growth. So really there is so much to be grateful for. And, we have to acknowledge that there are some times in life where we'll be feeling great and we'll have all the energy that we need to plow through the day, the week, the month. We can even share that energy with others. And, it's abundant. We will have those times and those days, but we will also have the days where it might be hard to get out of bed, and it might be hard to focus on something that we really want to do. And it might be hard to find those feelings of motivation. And of course, we gather here to encourage that, to give you that drive to move forward. And so even just recognizing that those days do exist on our calendar, on our 365, so we prepare so that we are already abundant with these ideas of what we can be grateful for, of what we can already acknowledge in our lifetime, of what we can be thankful for on a daily basis. And we get into that routine so that when we hit that low wave, it's a short one and we sprint out of it. And it could be, instead of lasting for days or for weeks, it could just last a couple of minutes or a few hours. We have the ability to transform that. We have the ability to really, express gratitude for things that might seem trivial, but really put us in this space of appreciation, of abundance, right? That's what we're trying to attract when we're building this business. All of you have said that you are there to attract feeling, we're here to create abundance for our life. So I was distracted by the chat there. Surely she's too young to remember. You're assuming me? Thank you for that. I'm grateful for that comment. Not too young to remember, but I'm grateful for that. And so, yeah, exactly. I think I've said most of everything that I wanted to say. I'm going to hand it over to y'all, and I already see the hands up. But it really is, we're starting the day on a positive note. We're stepping our right foot forward. We're doing this consciously. I actually had a conversation. This was not with students, over the weekend with some friends, and some of them just say, well, okay, let me give you the idea of that. With one of my friends, we were talking about affirmations and the affirmations that we list on a daily basis. And we were sharing those ideas. And so one of the girls that was listening on, she said, well, I don't have that kind of self-talk with myself. Yes, I have thoughts in my head, and yes, it's constantly noisy, but I don't, have those kinds of talks. And so it's interesting, because what we're asking you to do is organize your thoughts. Have the purposeful thoughts on purpose. You sit with yourself and you tune in to the frequency of gratitude. You tune in to the abundance hotline, which is an never ending, just flow of abundance in the universe coming your way. There is no end to it. It is limitless. Think about the most beautiful river with waterfalls, and just, that it can just be sent your way. And all you need to do is open your arms and just be like, oh, I'm ready to receive it. I'm ready to receive it now. And it's a great time to mention that, because it is Thanksgiving here in the US, and because it is a day that is marked on the calendar. Let's be thankful today. Let's acknowledge all the great things that we have. And so for us in the Low Hanging System, it's every day. It's every day that we rise with an attitude of gratitude in our heart, that we list the things that we're grateful for. And if you are lacking creative ideas for what to be grateful for, a quick Google search will give you so many things. And just what we shared here on this call, just in these couple of minutes, will give you things to be grateful for a very long time. You can repeat the same things over and over again. That's fine. Or you can come up with new ones. And eventually these these gratitude mentions will turn into affirmations. And you say to yourself, I am enough, I have enough, I am abundant, right? I am a money magnet. That's from the Secrets of a Millionaire's Mind. I am a money magnet. And, I easily collect large sums of money. And there's so many affirmations. The books that we recommend give you lists and lists of affirmations that you can say. I know I went slightly off topic. I got distracted there for a minute, but if you're looking to advance that, that's where it goes. So these affirmations, and you can definitely find so many resources for this online and in the recommendations that we send. All right, let's hand it over to Jem and hear what you have to share with us about gratitude. I'm eager to hear from you. Let's see.
All right. Hey, guys. Hi. I know I've been a bit distant in the last few days and
we
weeks.
missed you.
With I actually have a full-time job, believe it or not. So this is a side hustle for me. So it's but in any case, it's funny that you brought up this topic, because just this morning, what I do with my team every week, I send them a thought of the week, and today's thought of the week coincides beautifully with what you just said, and I'll read it to you guys. It's by a French philosopher named Voltaire, and it says, appreciation is a wonderful thing. It makes what is excellent in others belong to us as well. So the thing though is, it's hard to see the beauty in what's around us, what's within us, if we stay like this. When you think about it, God's not going to be able to pour into us if we have a tight fist. We have to open our hands so he can continue to put in more for us. But if we say no, I had a bad day. My boss yelled at me. I did this, I did that. Because think about it, it's about I. But when you make it about he or she or they or them, etc., then the universe, God opens up the heavens. They open up, the nature is opened up to everything, is opened up to you. So, but I think a lot of time it's so critical to take the focus away from me, and put it on them. That's why you see in times like these, people try to volunteer as much as possible, which is great. But let's remember, the volunteering doesn't stop just past the holiday, because people have needs all throughout the year, 365 days a year. So if we make ourselves available to helping others, suddenly our problems become so minuscule. They're still there, but in relation to other people, you're like, wow, I thought I had problems, but so and so, like you said. I mean, I'm from Haiti originally, so I know what it's like to be poor. Trust me. So that's why I guess for me, I come here, I'm like, oh my God, I came to this country with $40 in my pocket, and now I'm not rich by any means, but I do okay. So at the same time, it's really, really important to always put other people first. Then at the same time, I think we'll have a much better appreciation and zest for life. So this way we'll be able to give more, but appreciate more. And it's not just about what we do, but more so about what we do for other people, not so much because it's happiness. Remember, it's what happens to us. But when we have joy and gratitude, that's just intrinsic. That's who we are. That's what comes from inside. So then we are able to reflect that, so we can be the light and the salt of those around us. So thank you guys, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Beautiful. Thank you, Jem. I always like to hear from you. You have such a great view on life, and you share so beautifully with all of us. So, and I love how, it resonated exactly with where you were. And that's the beauty, even acknowledging these amazing connections, these synchronicities that are all around us, and how we've now become this amazing community that's supporting each other. That's something to be grateful for, right? Just having Rachel and the low-hanging system and these calls, and John and Adam and everyone in this team to move us forward into, and Jem, now that was speaking, and all of you here on the call, to really give us this, like you said, the light to move forward, because sometimes it's harder to find it in ourselves. So we can use the light from others and use that as a guide. So thank you for sharing that, Jem. Always great to hear from you. Eddie, I heard your little talk about trains in the beginning.
Hello, everybody. Yes,
There we
trains.
go.
I discovered that as a child. Gratitude. This is a fantastic topic, and I learned it because, like I said, and I've been quite transparent around here. My childhood just made me angry, and what the universe did was when my anger got the best of me to the point where I was just too depressed or whatever, it always gave me something. And what it did was it put me in the childcare business. And when I saw these children and their plight, and I'm responsible for helping them, everything I had to offer started blossoming. And what I found out was what my worth was. Now, gratitude is just that. And I talk about meditation and all this, but I have a morning ritual along with some people have to have a cup of coffee. I do, I don't know, turkey sausages and some eggs on top of grits, meditation. And I'm thankful for all that. I'm thankful for my ability to cook. I'm thankful for being a mama's boy and was in the kitchen licking that little spoon my mom used to put in it when she used to make up cakes and all this. And I'm going, can I get the spoon? Can I get the spoon? Little things. Now, I'm gonna get scientific on you. If you can just like Karen talking about, do a rampage of gratitude, in a little more than a minute, your mood will change and your vibration will go up. That's scientific truth. That's quantum mechanics. It takes about a little over a minute and you can go from depression up to hope. When you get to hope, it keeps going up. See, love, peace, joy, and happiness is where I try to stay. Because they're way up there, like, 600 frequencies. This is frequency talk. This is actual truth. And even when we heard Karen talking, as you talking, you could feel her vibration. I'm looking at her, she talking about dial up. I'm going, gosh, she's 15. That means I know I'm really old, and if she looks like she's 15 years old, but all I'm saying is this: the human animal is the one creature that can manipulate your emotions at will. You got it in your brain, and most of us waste it. But when I learned how to do this, I about lost my mind over joy. People think I'm out of my mind. On the job, they just look at me, Eddie, what is going on with you? You don't drink or anything, but you act like you're on drugs. but when you get, I'm telling you, no, I'm serious. Love, peace, joy, and happiness. I don't wait till Christmas to sing joy to the world. I sing it in the summertime. It's because when I learned how to lift my spirit up, wow. Because I'm telling you, I keep throwing this at Patricia, but that fire fired me up. Really, but we can do this about each other. Gratitude is simple. You don't even need a psychologist for that. Because, I've been to psychologists and I say, wait a minute, this guy's helping me remember stuff I don't want to remember. No, Do the spiritual thing. Lift your spirit up and get up in the morning. And it's called segment intending. Where you going, before you get there, you handle it. And get yourself ready for what is coming. That's vision. The day you want, that's the day you talk about before you even go there. I already am prepared to get here. And I say, Ed, you got to find a way to shut up because you're going to run your mouth on that daggone screen again. And everybody going to be looking at you. You're going to wonder where you're supposed to stop. Well, I'm going to stop shortly. I promise you this. This is beautiful. You must do this and get it in your daily routine as a habit. Do gratitude. I love the way the blood flows through my veins. My heart, it pumps. I can feel it. This air. I'm in South Carolina. We have such great humidity. I love it. Everybody hates telling me it's hot here. Santa Claus have to wear shorts down here on Christmas because it's that warm. And leave the reindeer up north because they'll burn up. That's all right. I love whatever God sends us. If it gets cold, if we get snow, it's gonna shut the state down. That's it. We ain't got no equipment. We don't even have big shovels. So we got to get out there and just throw snowballs at everybody and, hit somebody in the head until we get it all moved somewhere. It's still some of the most wonderful time you could ever experience, because this is what life's all about. Appreciating your day and getting on to the next thing you got in mind. Part of this low-hanging fruit thing is just that. Go at the low-hanging fruit first. It's right there. Get it. I'm thinking about blackberries and plums right now, and you enjoy this, y'all. Thanksgiving to y'all. Have a good one. I'm grateful to be able to bring this to y'all. Do this. Gratitude is so wonderful. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Eddie. Always great to hear from you. And I love how you reminded me, you were talking about blood and the heart pumping. It's interesting because one of my first kind of habituated practices when I maybe was 10 or 11 was being thankful for my heart beating. I always thought it was so marvelous to go to something like, my heart never has a rest, never has a moment that if it doesn't beat, then I'm in trouble. And so just being thankful for that, and then the sun. And so it's really, we can find the most basic things, if we can call them basic at all, because really the human body is such a magnificent creation, and so much is happening in every given second in your body. So there's so much to be, it's a miracle that we're even here, that we're talking, that all of us, are able to communicate in this way. And that's all thanks to, our physical body. And so there's so much to be grateful for that. We can just list and list and list the eyesight, the smell, the taste, so much, being able to walk, being able to run, being able to feel. You talked about the conscious being able to comprehend, to read, to process, to experience with other humans in our lifetime. So really, really great. And we always love to hear from you, Eddie. Just so you know, we always love to hear from you. I know Patricia and you have a special bond now with Fire Main. It's great. That's part of what I was talking about, just being thankful for this connection and being here. Because sometimes, and this is based on the conversation, it was just yesterday, where people are going through phases where they just can't find, the things within them to be grateful for. So here they are. And like you said, you just get into that routine, that habit, and you just say it over and over and over again, almost like you make it, it's almost like mechanic. It just comes out of you. You're just saying it and saying it and saying it. And suddenly you become it. You really become it. It has that ability to transform you. So that's great. Am I seeing Michael here, MP? Is that Michael on the call with us today? Is that
Yes,
Michael?
it is. Yep.
Yay, you
Hi.
made it. Yay, how great. We have Michael from the UK here with us today. Fabulous. And, these are like we were talking on the phone, these are our daily success calls. Our community is so wonderful. Another thing to be thankful for, because they do this out of the kindness of their heart, is that after this call ends, you can hop onto the same link and you can ask questions and find help from the community. Scott, don't disappear. I saw your hand go up. I want to hear from you. And so, Michael, so once I end this conversation, which will be shortly, if you hop back onto the same link, and maybe they can say here in the chat if they are intending to be here, then you can find some help and ask questions of how to do things, for the low-hanging system that everyone is signed up with. So, Scott, where'd you go? Let's hear from you before we wrap it up.
I'm right here. Yeah, gratitude. Gratitude is all of our attitude. Without that,
it is.
Just, you got to do it. Affirmation after affirmation. Put it in your heart, put it in your mind, put it out there, just like little pebbles all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it will return to you. Before you know it, you're going to see hummingbirds every year. You'll see things that you never thought you'd see before. Before you know it, you'll appreciate all these things in the world that are around you, because you're going to see them, and when you see them, well, you're recognizing them. And to recognize those small things that make up our lives is very important. So I know I believe in this wholeheartedly, and I'm just really grounded to you, and everybody else here too. So keep up the good work. Keep up the pace. Happy Thanksgiving.
I love it. I love it, Scott. Thank you so much. And it's true. You reminded me now, another thing to be grateful for, the colors of the flowers. I mean, it's winter, so it's maybe that's a harder one, but the changing of the seasons on the trees, that's it. That's one that we can just be so grateful for. I love that you mentioned hummingbirds. Those are one of my favorite birds. I have a lot of hummingbird feeders here around, so I love to see them. It's really magnificent, watching them just hover in the air. Yeah. So that was wonderful. Anybody else want to share with us on the subject of gratitude? And I want to say there are never any wrong answers ever. Yes, Scott.
Yeah,
That's Scott.
There are two of us.
Two Scotts now. Yes.
That's true. That's right.
Hard to hear you, Scott. Hard to hear you. Can you speak up louder?
Is that better? Hang on, the microphone's not plugged in. That's why it's not working. Oh dear.
It's just it's a little muffled, kind of.
I think it's his mic. He's in the mic.
Better?
No, now it's worse. So let's hear.
No. Yeah, I am back.
Okay, better.
Good. No, to me, when we speak about gratitude, I'm tying into what you're saying about affirmations. I think that's really critical. But in the context of creating a gratitude consciousness, so it's something you actually live with as a waking reality. So I don't use the word gratitude so much. I use the word lucky, and I just consider myself consciously all the time lucky. So my brain will just unconsciously look for everything to feel lucky and grateful for. So the lucky to be able to walk, lucky. It's not something you actually articulate. It's something I just feel as a waking consciousness all the time. And the one thing I noticed, because I work in a hospital, I did work in a hospital until recently. One of the worst things about working in a hospital or in a lot of places is the pride or the arrogance of people. Gratitude is an antidote to that. You can't be arrogant if you run around being grateful for everything.
Yeah. Even
the silliest thing, but you're grateful for everything. You just have this awareness of how lucky you are all the time, 24 hours a day. And so you don't even have to look for things. They hit you in the face all the time. Even things that go wrong, you automatically start putting that into a long-term perspective, so that somehow, some way, something good will come out of this. You have no idea what it is. And it could be really hard at the time, but somehow things will click into place, and you look back and say, in some way, that was a good thing in the long run to happen, even though at the time, as I said, it could be traumatic. But you can even start to see good fortune and luck and something to be grateful for, even in those situations. Mm-hmm. It just frees you from a prison. It really does. That's how I see it anyway. Frees you from a prison of your own creation.
Yeah, I love it, Scott. What a beautiful play on that, because when we say I'm lucky, it's almost like this giddy, childish feeling. You suddenly want to just skip and I'm so lucky, right? And we kind of construct our mind that, okay, something has to happen to us in order to feel lucky. We won the lottery, or we were giving something, or we found something, right? That's kind of when you associate being lucky. But if we attach that word, to all the things that we see in our life, then suddenly we really, because a lot of manifestation happens on that frequency of the giddiness, childlike, just innocent space. As we grow older and we attach all kinds of things, it's almost like a distortion to the message, the frequency that we're sending out. But when we can really tap into that youthful, joyous feeling of being lucky, of being this winner of all these things, I mean, that is a great way to do it. So I really appreciate you chiming in, Scott. First time I hear you talking on my talk. So really great to meet you. I appreciate it.
Can I just mention one more thing? I think gratitude also, as I think Scott mentioned before, other people mentioned, it's also a way of, in a way, forgetting yourself. You're so full of this sort of awareness, you stop thinking about yourself because your brain's too full of other things. And you've probably heard the expression, the only way to find yourself is to forget yourself. And that's one way in which it can happen. Yeah. And you start thinking how grateful you might have this friend and that friend and have that relationship with that person and so forth. And particularly in Australia and where I am, with all this COVID nonsense and the way it's breaking up families and all sorts of things, those things that I hold on to are becoming incredibly precious. When a lot of things that I relied on have fallen away, but a lot of new things have arisen, and it's just incredibly precious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think COVID did that for a lot of us. It really kind of, when before COVID, let's put it this way, we valued so many kind of, if we have little inner circles and outer circles of the things that we want and appreciate and value, we were really living on this kind of outer circle rim. And COVID made us really, come inward and see the value of our core values. We talked about that once, but, really what we value most above all, and what we're going to, where we want to spend our most time, where we want to put our most efforts, what can we choose to live without. I mean, we were, some of the shelves were pretty empty in the stores, and we made do, and it was fine. And so, it really put things into a perspective of just kind of pulling us out of the clutter, I guess we could call it that, the clutter of the outer circles, outer rims. I'm reading the comments, and I love you. And I see what you're writing here in the chat. So thank you so much. I was thinking about you even as I was speaking, and sharing with this other student as well. She was going through some really rough times. And so we love you. And we have to be able to see that perspective, even in the most difficult time.
Thank you.
And they're gonna come our way. We know they're coming our way. Death is part of life, and it's all linked into that cycle. It's part of that wave. And every time that we wake up, even being thankful for waking up in the morning, opening our eyes, breathing the air, there are so many people on the planet that don't get that opportunity. They just don't. And so, we can really find strength from all these things. So thank you. And thank you for always being here and being so open and really sharing, bearing your soul to everyone. You inspire more than I think you even realize. So, and Arlene, we're grateful for you as well. All beautiful comments going in here into the chat. We have our wonderful Patricia. I was hoping to hear from you today.
All right.
Take us home.
Mine might be a little bit more down than most people, but I'm thankful of the people that I don't like. And I know that sounds weird, and of the people that make me really, really angry, because I used to be that person. And it's taken me years and years to learn how to not just go off at the drop of a hat. And so I'm really thankful of that. And I feel for those people that they are not as happy as I am now, I guess. I don't know. God brought me my husband 22 years ago, and I don't think I've been more happy in my life since I was with him. And he gives me peace. He is, if I get upset, all he has to do is just walk up and put his hand on my shoulder, and it's like the whole world just goes, whoo, and I totally relax, So it's really weird to think like that. Plus the fact that you said we're thankful that we wake up. And I don't mean to say this is a downer, but I've died. My heart has legally stopped, and they had trouble getting it started 8 times. Wow. And it's from 8 different things. Not just I've had 6 heart attacks, but I only died 1 time from them. But fire ant bites, and those are the only things I truly don't like in this world, is a fire ant. I don't understand why they were put here. Still don't. Maybe I'll understand one day, but
I don't understand it. Don't understand it either. I'm with you. I learned this from Texas. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I just don't like those little things. But I'm thankful that I actually, and you said something about feet and fingers. I had, what do you call that stuff? MRSA, and almost lost my foot. But instead of losing my foot, I kept everything. It was only on one little toe, and it just went, and I was able to keep it all because of great doctors and nurses and my husband helping me, and all this kind of stuff. There's so many different little things that we don't think about, and I'm grateful that I have my little cats, and I'm grateful that you talk about not having the internet, y'all. Think about not having anything like that, not having I remember rotary dial phones that you put the little thing up to your head. My grandmother had one of those. You know, I was put on here my great aunt's letter and number, phone number. I remember people getting on these little phones, and it was party lines, and we'd all go on and listen to what was going on. That's how you learn the gossip around the neighborhood, is to get on those and listen to everybody's gossip. And we'd all say, get off the phone, so, I'm not on here. And then you'd hear the click. But I mean, it's technology. I'm grateful for technology, but I'm also grateful that I lived during that time to know what it was like, because it does give me more. I think back and I think, gosh, driving down the road, I forgot my phone the other day and I went into a panic attack. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to go back and get my phone. And then I started laughing and I thought, what did I do 30, 40 years ago, 30 years ago, when there wasn't a phone? We didn't have phones, you know, we didn't worry about whether we had a way to call somebody. You're able to talk to people. And at one point in time, you can talk to people now, but at the same time, it doesn't make you think for yourself as much anymore. You know, so I'm really grateful that I thought and start thinking for yourself and not having to worry about whether I have to go on and Google it or something. Look it up in a dictionary, look it up and, you know, do whatever, things like that. Go back to the old ways sometimes, because they're not so bad either. But most importantly, right now, today, I am very, very grateful that I have all of you, because I've said many, many times that this is my meditation hour. And I get up every morning excited because I know I'm going to be coming here. And the days that I miss here, oh man, I just get so sad because I didn't get to say hi to everybody. And Karen, you have some of the best thought things put out there that it really has made me grow as a person. And I want to thank you for that. And so but all of you, you know, I mean, I don't know of any other time in my life, and that's even in the military, and I was really close to people there, that I had friends that I could just go to and poke my lip out and say, I don't know what to do. And oh, no problem. We all got that, you know, and because I mean, like the class afterwards, bless y'all's heart, everybody that's been helping me. I'm like Eddie now. I need to be quiet, but but I'm grateful that Eddie is there, because he makes me laugh every day and he makes me think. And Joe and Scott and Ann and all these people that I'm looking around and seeing everybody in here that just, y'all are to have
I think
friends.
everybody's probably feeling the same. What about you?
To have serious friends like this. My daddy once said, if you can count on one hand the amount of friends that you have, you're a lucky person. Well, Scott, I'm a lucky person because I feel like y'all are my friends, you know. So anyway, I love you all, and I truly hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'm going to make myself a little baby chicken. That's a Cornish hen for people who don't know. In the South, we call them baby chickens. But I'm going to have me a little baby chicken, and Stevie's going to go to a restaurant. We're going to get on the phone and have dinner with each other. So y'all have a lovely Thanksgiving, and I love y'all.
Thank you, Patricia. It's amazing, these snippets of your life that we keep on learning. Wow, you know, to have your heart stop 8 times, that's amazing. And then we had Catherine put in the chat here about her son. Catherine, we're sending you all the love and the healing vibes. Yes. And wow, how much gratitude. I mean, a truck, how much gratitude. So yeah. So you know, I was just reading that and I was almost, my jaw dropped. So, you know, we're here, we're sending you love, and I think everyone can feel the love, like you're noting, Patricia. And we have Michael joining us here for the first time, so you can see the sense of what has been created here by everyone, and just the gratitude is profound, and the help from the kindness and the goodness of the heart of the students is just something to be in awe of, not to take lightly, not to take for granted, because that is something that we need to appreciate every day. And it's worth, you know, really, you know, having this call, having this conversation every so often, just to remember, and for all the students who've just joined, so that you can also feel this energy that's been created here. And it's just, it's amazing. So we're going to wrap it up. Thank you for everyone that has participated today and for sharing, for those that put in the comments and just by showing up. I'm grateful for each and every one of you for showing up, for sharing, for bearing your heart and soul, and for being part of this beautiful community and for helping everyone out. I really, really am grateful to be a part of this. And we have John Lavinia with us here tomorrow. For those of you who's the first time here, I'm going to end the call now. This call also is recorded live on YouTube. If anybody wants to watch the recording, I'm going to end the call now. And then you will come back into the link and find the community here and ask questions of how to do this and how to do that. So I'm just making that really clear that everyone understands. And we will meet again after the holiday, after the weekend. I will be here with you on Tuesday. 1 week. I'm going to miss you all so much. I'll see you in a week. Have a great time.